yourselves right up to here. Drink a good deal of it, make a good meal of it, stick to your old-fashioned beer. Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer.
And hello there once again. This is Mark McDermott, your one-take beer reviewer, also the guy behind Beeronaut.com, which is part of the Chicago Tribune's Chicago Now web portal. And once again, I have another beer that has been sent to me for my review. This one is from Goose Island Beer Company. And well, once again, somehow they think I have a lot of pull, but I don't know that for sure. But it was worthy enough that they Ubered this out to me. And this is their new Foudre Red. It's a wild or sour ale, and I believe they have been serving this around, but this is the first time that it has been put in bottles, and it is a taproom-only bottle release, so you would have to go to the tap room at 1800 Fulton by the brewery to pick up a bottle like this. And, well, let's go into the description here. The wild red ale, and actually I'm reading it over here, was aged in Foudres. Those are big oak barrels, oak vats, really, for 6 months, and then spent 12 months aging in bourbon barrels. The combination of cooperage results in a dark tart cherry note, caramel and faint vanilla backbone. I don't want to talk about too much about the description because that might affect what I think of it. But anyway, it is a 6.6% ABV. So it's not. It is finished in bourbon barrels, but apparently it's not a very strong, typical bourbon barrel stout like they do so well. And we're just going to pop the lid down and stop talking about it. And we have a proper Goose Island fancy beer tulip to pour this into. From the description, I would have thought it might be a little more red, but if the lighting is not proper for this, it is a rather almost hard to see. Yeah, it's hard to see my hand behind this. A very dark, almost opaque brown with a nice fizzy head. And not too much tart in the nose, just some light malts and a very slight whiff of oak to it. Oak is becoming just a little more apparent in the taste, and but it's still kind of subtle. There's more tartness to this from the first sip to the last sip that I was taking here. But it does have some of that complex. Yes, I do detect the vanilla, and maybe it's because I read that in the description, but there is some vanilla to it, and the cherry that they claim, no, I don't think it's because there's cherry in it, but that's the impression that they're trying to offer. But I think it is pretty apparent, which is what you usually get from a wild/sour ale. And let's just pour some more and see how well. Let's pour one close up here for once. See how well that fizzes. Carbonation seems fizzy, but then it really settles. It's like it's not like almost like a soda, I guess, but the carbonation sounds fizzy, but then it pretty much settles and is almost still to the tongue. I'm getting a lot of sour notes here, and then some of the oak toward the back, and maybe just a little note of the vanilla, and some more tartness like a lemon, and then just general like a Berliner Weiss acid wheat malt. But it's recommended if you like your beers sour or wild. And as I've said, this is being sold. And they started sales for this July 13th at the tap room at 1800 Fulton Street. But it has been seen around town before this release on tap and in cask. So it's an interesting beer to look around for. Not a lot of actual hard sours that they've been doing lately. So this is definitely something a little bit different if you're into the Goose Islands and or into the sour beers. It's the Goose Island Foudre Red Ale. This is the 2018 vintage, of course, and it's sour. What can I say besides that? Well, I've already said that. So anyway, this is Mark McDermott, your one-take beer reviewer, and thebeeronaut.com. Once again, wishing you a cool beer on a hot summer night.
Now don't be afraid of it. Drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer. Up with the sail of it. Down with the feel of it. Glorious, glorious.